Welcome to the warehouse, everybody. I'm your host, Wilgus, and we're taking a look at The Legend of Zelda Master Sword Proplica from Bandai Namco, and I am very excited because it is a lot larger than I expected it to be. So let's take a look at the box. Massive already, huge when it gets to the sounds, gimmicks, size, and additional component. We have Zelda Master Sword Proplica. Very nice. Very top we've got some shiny gold where it says Master Sword. You have the actual Master Sword itself, showing here to the size being 105 centimeters. Box-wise, we are coming in 41 inches, 14 inches tall, and at about 5 inches. Getting it open, there are 3 pieces of plastic you will need to take off. And these slits come out. And as you have inside, you can already see the collection already looking good. We got instructions. This one I'm probably going to cut. Stick. Wow. Ooh, don't forget that. So you have quite a large stand which shows off the HYAAAAA crest, which I think is pretty sweet. Light plastic, like the Bandai Proplica lines before. It also comes with whatever that is. We will find out. Oh, is that going on the pommel? Ah, I see. Cool. Then we have the sheath, or a scabbard, sorry, which I definitely am wanting to see if there's a way I can put some cloth on the inside to protect the plastic that's on here. Other items have had plastic inside here as well on other toys, but for the sake of it, I can tell you for a long time I've wished to do that, and for something that feels, oh, that is cool. Very nice. You got some good plastic, that blue sheen on the blade, that nice off-white for the cut. You have the Triforce. It's got a nice metallic sheen, whether the grip, which is a solid green, I would say it's more of a forest green, sage, maybe. You've got that dark lilac, or is this going to be like a dark, it's not cyan, maybe. But either way, it's metallic with that. Everything here, the only thing that is not metallic is going to be the green and the blade edge. Everything else has got that metallic sheen to it. Oh, this looks cool. I gotta admit, that is gorgeous. Woo! So we also have some holders that will be displayable in not only the scabbard and the blade mode, but others. Taking a look at the instructions. How are we looking? Instruction-wise, you have a large 2-sided paper that will show us, again, how we're able to do all the different pieces. And so the side 1 and 2 buttons should come up, revealing the handle, which we will need to unscrew and use 2 AA batteries. Okay. Okay. That's the first turn on sound. The second one has... Oh, cool. Well, it's got a message. Cool. So there is a... I think this is one of the cool new features that they may have listened to on the Proplica line. You don't have to take the whole handle off to get to the changing modes. You can just keep this closed, and in the Pomel, you have... which can easily be covered like so. Very nice. So then you have your A button and B button on top with C on the bottom. While the sword is sheathed, the sword and sheath are not fastened. Pay attention to falling out of the sword and the sheath. Okay, is there a sound effect? If I... No. There is not, but cool. Now, if we want to display, there is one mode of display with the sword in the sheath already. Is this saying sheath or scabbard? Yeah, it's saying sheath. Okay, make sure I use the right words. So you have not only the sword and the sheath together in one mode, but you can also display it in another. How are you to... No. Like that? That is gorgeous. So in that case, now that we've got that, we can look at our sword. C button is right here, A and B. Without any operation, about 3 minutes, it goes into hibernate mode. To restart it, press and hold one of the buttons. So there was the inaction. There's no sound effects, it sounds like, for it to go into inaction. The single dot mode 1 to start with the key item acquired sound in the Tears of Kingdom, yes. A, we'll hear 8 of the BGM tracks in order. So the first is the Legend of Zelda Overworld theme. Speakers right here. Fades out, and as we press the second one, we have The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past Hyrule Overture. Then we have the third song, A Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening Overworld theme, first time. Number 4 is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time Hyrule Field. That's my Legend of Zelda. Five is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, The Great Sea. Then we have 6, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, The Ballad of the Goddess, main theme. Seven is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, main theme. 8 is the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom main theme short version. And I'm just reading this now. Press the B button to hear the same tracks in reverse order. Main theme, yeah, Breath of the Wild. Skyward Sword. Wind Waker Great Sage. Ocarina of Time, Hyrule Field. Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Overworld theme. Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Hyrule Overture with The Legend of Zelda, Overworld theme. Huh, weird. That's an interesting choice, so that you can go either forward or back, okay? And then C button will hear the previously played BGM track. So this is literally BGM mode. Wow, that's hilarious. All right, and that's on the first star. When you remove your pommel and go to the second, you will hear the, what is it, the call the spirit sound is what they call it inside of the instructions. Putting that back on here, you still have all your other buttons. So pressing the A button will give you the sword sound. It shook. Ooh. Uh-oh, what did I do? Press A or B button several times to switch to Awakening mode with startups. During Awakening mode, some sound effects and vibration patterns will change. Press A or B button several times. So what if I press on... And I think that's the Awaken mode. Because that vibration and sound is different. That vibration and sound is different. Let's see, Sword Beam. After pressing the A button about 30 times in a row, it plays the sword breaking sound with vibration, and button operations will not be accepted for about 15 seconds. That's pretty cool. All right. So you can also press and hold down the A button, and the charge sound will be heard, and it will be fired when the button is released. So there's some variation. And then B button. Each time you press the B button, you will hear the sword beam sound. If you press and hold the B button, you will hear a flurry rush sound. I wonder how many you get in there. Let's hear it. Seven hits. Okay. And you press your C button to hear the fulfilling Zelda's wish sound from Tears of the Kingdom. Dude, this is cool. Memories. Ugh. Okay, so, and that's it. That's all it does. Dude, that's enough. Yes, we will definitely get some size comparison done so we can get an idea of how this will look like when compared to some of the other Bandai Proplica line that they've done, as well as some other swords that I have in line from the complete selection of modification on Kamen Rider or Garo. Oh, okay. Holy shiza, this thing is cool.
Now that we've showed what the Master Sword looks like, weight-wise, it's coming in at about 1 pound, 1 ounce. The scabbard is at 1 pound, 3 ounces. And together, it's going to weigh at a total of about 2 pounds and 3 ounces. I loved the look of not only the sword, but the scabbard itself, or sheath, however you want to call it. What's very fun is that brown little cloth there. While solid plastic does have a little slit inside of it for you to pass through a holder of sorts, but I'll have to look into that down the road. The Triforce has a bit of a gold plastic to it. The blue, royal blue on the scabbard itself, the gold metallic for the metal, the little divots for the metal that hold everything together. You can definitely show the fingerprints, so be careful, but visually it is gorgeous. And again, I love how the Proplica line looks like and the quality. Now let's take a look at other swords, shall we? Looking at it, it will by itself be a great centerpiece. Now comparing it to the other Proplica line you'll see in here, this we'll be looking at the Attack on Titan sword. Then we come to Tanjiro's Demon Slayer, the Black Blade. A nice standard katana, comparative to Link's Master Sword. Next we have Rengoku's sword. I will say sound-wise, it is the loudest of all the Proplica lines, and that's impressive, because a lot of the other swords, I will say, if anything, have affected the price that I feel that they're valued at. I got mine at about $200 pre-ordered over at toecollectibles.com. Here we have the Jujutsu Kaisen sword, one of the more realistic katanas in the collection. But the pre-order was a great option. It let me be able to pay it off in chunks as it released, and once I got the notification, it shipped on out. The feature of the vibration was also a nice little fun surprise on there. Doesn't really take away too much. This one is the Sword Art Online Blue Rose Sword, and a lot of them come just barely to the size of the Master Sword, which I think there's only one other sword that I own that is from the Proplica line that will give this one an actual run for its money in the size department. But weight-wise, it feels good as you're maneuvering it about. I'm sure it's going to look fantastic in some cosplay options. It's not the only sword and scabbard option that they've done. This one is the lightning sword, again, from Demon Slayer. You are still able to remove both, and I love the lightning sword here does have a feature. As you remove it from the scabbard, it will make a sound effect, which is what I thought we would see for the Master Sword, but didn't need that included. This one is Inosuke's sword from Demon Slayer as well. This is a double sword normally, but be a little hard to show it off. Then we have the Kirito sword from Sword Art Online. Again, size-wise, it's going to look great. That 1-to-1 scale replica and Proplica line influence is amazing. Once you start getting into some of these other cosplays, fantastic. I just need to have something that holds it. Now for Tengen's swords from the Proplica line, definitely hard to do, clearly, because it's so gigantic. But you can see how it's finally something that's bigger than the Master Sword. So first Tengen, then Master, and then the rest. But that's pretty crazy competition. Now we're coming to the Kamen Rider swords from Kamen Rider Saber. I will say the only other sword of mine, which would be the Kaiken Reika, which is coming up here with the red sigil, sorry, the emblem on it. That's probably the loudest one that I've got. This one, the Mumeiken and the Kiyomu, still good on weight. Here's the Kaiken Reika from Kamen Rider Saber. loudest of all the ones that I've got. Now the complete selection gigantic, sorry I miscalled it earlier, this one is the Titan sword, and when fully combined, it finally is bigger than all of the other swords that I've owned, and probably on weight-wise too. There are some other Proplica swords coming out in the future, like Ichigo's sword from Bleach. I believe there are 2 other Demon Slayer swords, and I want to say Zoro's sword. And I will be reviewing Garo Ken, down in the future, as well as the Mumei Ken that you saw earlier. So stay tuned to the warehouse. Come for curiosity. Stay for good times. Everybody, thank you so much for coming and checking out this review. I look forward to reviewing more with you down the road. Enjoy your week or weekend, and I will see you all at the next review next time.